Flatbread with toppings were consumed by ancient Egyptians, Romans, and Greek, a royal ancestor of what we know as pizza. The Greek version of this dish was topped with herbs and oil, just like the pizza we know these days. In the city of Naples, a Greek settlement that was founded 600 BC, in the 1700s and 1800s, was created the version of pizza that is known and loved by us. Naples was an independent kingdom from the rest of Italy and was a prosperous waterfront city, famous for its high population of working poor, also known as Lazzaroni. Food that was inexpensive, filling, and could be consumed quickly were consumed generally by Neapolitans. Flatbread with various ingredients that could be eaten for any meal and were sold on the streets by vendors and casual restaurants that meet this need. These early Italian pizza were topped with ingredients that are still considered classic toppings today, like tomatoes, cheese, garlic, oil, and anchovies. In addition, is now one of the most universally loved pizza options around the world. That was all for my part.
Hi everyone. Now, the ingredient will be presented by me, Omar Santos, and probably you are thinking how many ingredients we will need for this pizza. Well, let me tell you that we will need 13 ingredients, and now I'm gonna tell you what kind of ingredients. Well, the ingredients that we will need are dough for 8 pizzas, 800 grams of strong white bread flour, 200 fine ground semolina flour or strong white bread flour, 1 level of teaspoon fine sea salt, 7 grams of touches of dried yeast, 1 tablespoon golden castor sugar, tomato sauce for 4 pizzas, 1 clove of garlic, 1 bunch of fresh basil, olive oil, 400 grams of tin of quality plum tomatoes, the topping for 4 pizzas, 85 grams of mozzarella cheese.
Ciao, come stai? Il mio nome è David. Hi, my name is David, and now let's move to a very important part, that is the process of how we prepare this delicious recipe. Okay, first of all, the dough has to be stacked, 1 level teaspoon of sea salt on a clean surface and make a hole in the center. Secondly, add the yeast and sugar to 650 milliliters of warm water. Everything has to be well mixed and let it stand for a few minutes. Then pour it into the well. Using a fork and a circular movement, slowly bring in the flour from the inner edge of the well and mix into the water. Continue to mix, bringing in all the flour, and when the dough comes together and becomes too hard to mix with your fork, flour your hands and begin to pour into a bowl. The dough should be pulled back and forth, using your hands to stretch and pull and push the dough. Continue kneading for 10 minutes or until you have a smooth, elastic, and soft dough. The dough can be placed in a lightly greased bowl covered with cling film and should rest in a warm place for 45 minutes or until doubled in size, like the bread. And now for the sauce, the garlic has to be peeled and finely chopped, then pick the basil leaves and finely chop the stems. Now heat a tablespoon of oil in a frying pan over medium-low heat. Add the garlic and basil stalks and cook gently for a couple of minutes, or until the garlic is lightly browned. Then most of the basil leaves need to be added. The tomatoes, a pinch of salt, and pepper. The sauce should be left to cook for about 20 minutes or until smooth, breaking up the tomatoes with a wooden spoon. When the time is up, taste and season to perfection. Okay, now to assemble the pizzas, the dough has to be divided in half. Okay, wrap 1/2 in cling film and freeze for another day. With the other half, divide the dough into 4 equal balls. And now Alex is going to continue explaining you what is next in this process. Thank you.
Following the process, flour each dough ball, then cover with cling film and leave to rest for about 15 minutes. This will make them easier to roll it thinly. Dust the clean surface and the dough with a little flour or semolina and roll it out into a round circle about half a centimeter thick. Tear off an appropriately sized piece of tin foil, rub it with olive oil, dust well with flour or semolina and place the pizza base on top. Remember, take advantage of this process because in the future this pizza will be cooked by you. Tear off an appropriately sized piece of tin foil, rub it with olive oil, dust well with flour or semolina and place the pizza base on top. Continue doing the same with the remaining dough, dust with a little flour so you can pile them up and cover with a clean film and place them in the fridge. When the pizza is ready to be cooked by you, preheat the oven to 250 Celsius degree or 500 Fahrenheit degree, or if you are in gas, the gas in 9. And in this stage, the toppings can be applied by you. Spread the tomato sauces over the base, spreading it out the edge, and tear over the mozzarella and scatter with remaining basil leaves. Drizzle with a tiny bit of olive oil and add a pinch of salt and pepper. If you can, cook the pizzas on a piece of granite in your conventional oven. If not, cook them one by one on a pieces of thin foil directly on the bed of the oven shelf. Cook the pizzas for 5 to 10 minutes and until the pizzas are golden and crispy. We hope you have enjoyed this recipe given by us. Senza opinione da dire. Adiós.